on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Clear skies, but pretty chilly. That's the situation. Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Rodgers now on first down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The numbers in last week's game for Graham: 7 catches, 51 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has a real priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Trying to power it ahead with one. And he will have the first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. Shrugs him off. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us that under a heavy rush, rush, and down he goes. Harold Landry able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they got to find a way to get it back together.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Walsh adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions.
Yeah,
right?
2 touchdown passes.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Jayon Brown gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers, a nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. He's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jayon Brown able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is
and the pressure gets to him again. Harold Landry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jeffrey Simmons. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They begin the drive with Johnson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Check pass, check back.
Hey, orbit.
Play action now. Dalton. Over the middle, complete. It's Yoder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamon Moore, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route-running ability.
Extra point up and good by Walsh. And that makes our score 17-0. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now this one complete to Corey Davis. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Dalton off play action. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. They only few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on fourth down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And Dalton to throw.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Smith catches left side. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Eluding the pressure. Open man is Davis. He's got it for the Tennessee touchdown. Corey Davis. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. What can A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of India.
No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. That will get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Dalton, 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And that's caught by Smith. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now Lewis here on first down. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Passing. It's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Za'Darius Smith. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
After the penalty, it's Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's...
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they work this out past the 25. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him. even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans, and they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one, because margin for error is starting to slip away, and now it's down to a one-score game.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. You're down on the scoreboard, and this is not what you want to see. 99 yards of field in front of you.
Man, it just shows how important a good punter can be and how that person can really help out a team. Guarantee you his agent can be taking that video clip in on the next contract negotiation, don't you think?
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys... And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever, because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Dalton here from the gun. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing, Dalton. He gets it to Brown, complete. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Here's Dalton. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Dalton operating in the red zone now. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Taywan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have made this a 1-score game.
Big score, first step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Rosas good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Zadarius Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, and now it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
A gain of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
We got 4. We got 4.
On first down, it's Lewis. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Zadarius Smith getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
To try again after the sack. Dalton, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this is caught. He hits more. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
To throw, it's Rodgers. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Jayon Brown able to record his 5th sack of the season. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Two huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die fourth down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
All right, here's Dalton. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. They try again with Lewis. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run. This is Lewis. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On second down, it's Lewis. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They'll run on first down. Lewis. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about.